current and to bridge that gap and to do the fusion necessary to combine the field, to create the field, to build out the container of our soul. Because our soul is not arbitrary. Love is not arbitrary. Wisdom is not arbitrary. And we are designed according to specific function. And we're all too familiar with the lower functions of ourself. That's the primal survival mechanisms that we've all required in order to tame the primate within. Taming the primate within is indeed about taming the reptilian brain and accessing and activating the higher brain function within our own ability, capacity. But we cannot activate and access higher brain function until the heart has portrayed the right alchemy. Because the heart is the governor to the engine of the soul. And a governor is like a training wheels that's placed on to keep you in a speed limit. But when you're no longer subject to lower rule, then you can remove that governor and you can become truly sovereign within the universe. And then when you remove the governor, you remove the trial, you remove the litigation of your soul held to you in a karmic feedback loop, which is fourth dimensionally affecting every level of your life. And you can neutralize that negative feedback loop, which is brewing in your humanity. You can neutralize the illusion. You can decode the matrix of illusion in order to discover the gems which you will bear on the crown of your higher self. And those gems are specific. Those are the gifts of creation which your journey is all about. And we are the gems. We are the diamond hearts. We are the ones who've been given the divine code of the Admin Kadmon and carry within us the sacred celestial seed of divine oneness, coveted by the law of one, imprinted in our DNA, and bestowed upon us by heavenly accordance. It's not arbitrary. It's a creation. But the creation is a great responsibility, and our ancestors know this and display this. And to be responsible is to acknowledge your ability to respond to the universe within you and around you, so that you can become sensible in your roots, sense-able to decode the thoughts and emotions which are an informational field that you've been living in. But not all of the thoughts and emotions that you've been regurgitating actually belong to you. And in truth, you may be interfering with yourself by entertaining these programs which you've been imprinted with. Now you can take these programs personal. You can make them about yourself. You can look for an infinite karmic attribute to associate to it. But at the end of the day, what you are healing within yourself is for the collective unconsciousness of all concerned. Because we are transpersonal beings living in a personal distortion of ourselves. You see. But that distortion is clearing because fidelity is returning to the signal. And the signal is the spirit, you see. And the channel is the soul. And the message is yourself. And yourself is the message from the signal flow path of your spirit. And your soul is downstream to your spirit, you see. And yourself is downstream to your soul. And yourself is a delta that stands between the river of life and the ocean of time and space. And all of that residual energy that's been pouring down Zion flows through us and it accumulates. So we must cleanse the field, we must cleanse the bodies, we must master the elemental configuration of ourself. To do this, we need our hearts and we need our minds to operate according to their divine design. And this divine design, it already exists. It's already created. You don't create it. It's already here. You emulate it through the transparency of yourself. It's a unified field, you see. It holds the physics of the universe together. Because those of us who have transcended the boundaries of time and space know that this universe is held together by intention. We know that every electron, which is coordinating the crystal nature of the materialization of matter itself, is an orchestration of a musical context of harmonics and frequencies and vibrations. The universe is orchestrated into existence. And your body reflects this. So to understand the higher function of your body is key. Because your heart's not just a pump. Your heart's not here just to chug along like the little train that could or should. Your heart's much more than that. Your heart can take you over unity. Let me tell you about that. Because you need more energy and more sustenance than what just nutrients alone can provide. You need more life force than just what you're able to get from the physical substance that you ingest. Well, how do you harness that energy? Of course, your spiritual practice is doing this. And every practice that builds the field and harnesses the energy is effective. But there is an alchemy. And it's all based around the heart. So before we go into a healing level, I want to talk about the alchemy of your heart. And then we'll transition into another space, and I'll take us into a few levels of learning and experience. The alchemy of your heart says that you are a divine instrument. And your heart of hearts is a heavenly seed, a divine seed crystal which resonates in the core of your soul. And that resonance carries a signature, the signature of your soul, the song of your soul, the vibration of your nature. Your heartbeat existed before you were born. You converted it into this body. Your soul is a living, pulsating presence. This presence is real and has been in jeopardy. But we must transcend that jeopardy by mastering our heart. When your heart is out of tune, every thought and emotion you try to figure out will lead you astray. When your heart is out of tune and you look at an electron, its quantum superposition is only viewable as an illusion because you cannot see the truth. But if you looked at an electron with your heart open and you saw it in the nucleus of your own heart chakra, you would see it differently. So we get to look at ourselves a little differently and to allow a perception that's better and different than what we've been familiar with to emerge. A new language, a new context, a new capacity to express our intelligence. And our hearts, they seek the tuning, you see. Because the body and the soul is weathered by the tides of change in life. And all of that astral weather that you endure every day of your life in the electromagnetic field of your soul has taken its toll. But you must master these elements internally and externally in order to unify the forces of your being. There is only one master key which can unlock all of the frequencies. And it's the true signature of light that your soul brings into this universe. And it lives in your heart. And it's a feeling that's beyond the limitation of emotions. It's a sense of clarity, euphoria, joy, and a tint of sadness as we transcend old worlds that are peacefully passing. The heart is tuned when we surrender to the song of life, and we allow the creation to speak in the integrity of its divine design. And then we realize that we are divine children, and we are but painting our lives in the image of a higher presence. And that presence is here right now in the nucleus of our hearts. But all of the thoughts and emotions that you've been holding on to are in the muscle surrounding the 0 point of your heart. Those emotions are memories that are frozen in your body. But you need the fire of your passion to melt those frozen emotions, which have blocked your ability and capacity to master the vulnerability of your soul. And out of that vulnerability comes the sensitivity of a great integrity. And that is the integrity of ourselves in the future. Aware, conscious, sensitive, though strong, clear, intact, and holy. So let us put our attention in our hearts for a moment and remember each other as brothers and sisters. Your heart is a master teacher, communicating your relationship to the universe. Bow to your heart with respect and reverence. Bow to your cell structure with reverence and appreciation. And right now, I want you to perceive that you are broadcasting consciousness, full spectrum, through your field, from your heart. And you're sending that signal of I love you, I am you, and we are one to every level of your being. Imagine you're projecting that consciousness into the atomic density of your body, telling every proton, neutron, and electron, I love you, I am you, and we are one unified field of light. And allow your consciousness in your heart to center to the depth of creation. And then take a deep breath and expand your soul, because you are elevating yourself with each breath. And as you elevate, you expand. You expand into the elements of your body. So look into the elements of your body. Look into hydrogen and say, I love you, I am you, and we are one. And bless the hydrogen atoms in your body. And allow that blessing to flow through all of the chemical elements of your body, the whole periodic table of your field. And right now, take a moment to extend your universal heart to all of the elements of yourself. Let the distractions go. Remember, love is the key to synchronicity, the flow of divinity, which aligns the harmonics of you and me through space and time, and in the seed crystal of our bodies, connected together by the magnetic pulse of the earth and sun, dancing in a mystical marriage of polarities as we spiral into and through the toroidal passion of our souls. Because we are a vortex of light, and we are the constellations that guide us through the night. And we unify ourselves to reveal a divine plan, to show that our works here are beyond just any two hands. We stand in reverence to the altar of life, to the throne of creation, to the Most High, blessed ones who carry the seed of creation. We give thanks to all of the children of life, and we hold our hearts on high like we would hold the holy grail of life to be filled as a chalice of perfection. And that chalice is our hearts. And we hold it on high together in celebration to a new earth. We fill the cups of our soul with effortlessness, with surrender, with allowance, with the implosion of our divinity, drawing us into the core core nucleus of our passion, through every thought, every feeling, every reverberation of sound and light, which cascades through all of the myriad systems and functions which unify this divine being that you represent. And right now, the universe smiles upon you. And right now, you have the opportunity to claim your divine inheritance, to access the divine trust, to unlock the storehouse of potential which you alone possess in yourselves. And then as all of our selves come together, the selves come together, because the selves are just selves to the God of the body. But as we come together, we become coherent. New colors emerge within our life. New realities emerge which represent the possibility that we have sought for so long. We have trekked for so long along this journey, and we will leave no soldier behind in this army of light. And the army of light is an armor of light. It is the light that Creator holds around the heart and those of us that stand as shields for our humanity, to preserve and to protect the sanctity of the sacred children and the wisdom of the ancestors, to play our role and to fulfill a personal and universal prophecy. The prophecy speaks through our hearts. It speaks through synchronicity, flow, and alignment. It speaks because destiny calls. And where destiny calls, fate falls. And where you once fell in fate, you elevate yourself with what you recreate. And you transcend fate, and you emerge in your divine destiny. So together as brothers and sisters, let us transcend and shed all of the timelines of fate, which branch off of all of the quantum potentialities and possibilities which we are connected to. We choose, as light bearers, within the unified presence of our soul, to accept nothing less than harmony, love, truth, wisdom, divine power. Right now, allow yourself to shed any timelines that were trying to pull the vortex astray. Destiny calls, but it speaks through all of us, for we are one. And the oneness of our destiny beseeches the company of heaven. And the company of heaven blesses humanity and invites you to take your role, to play your role within the company of heaven. And the company of heaven is the orchestration of all of the progress of every soul. For ascension is unconditional to the soul. We will all transcend our fate. Because destiny is the only source, the only force that has the power to harness the potential of our love. So allow destiny to speak through all of your new ideas. The truth resonates. Listen to the truth when you feel the resonance. When something resonates, it's confirmed. Confirmation abolishes doubt. Doubt abolishes confusion. Confusion is the infiltration of the illusion. And there can be no daemon that can possess your animal instincts if you have no illusion. So let us lift our hearts and our soul for all of our humanity. And as we do so, we place our base vibration in our heart, not our root. We lift the base vibration of our root to our heart. And we take the base vibration of our soul and we anchor it to our heart. And the heart is the balancing point. But your heart needs your mind to shine divine. Your heart needs your mind to be transparent, prismatic, reflect the perfection and all of the colors of your own unique direction. You are the artesian wellspring of life, pouring the fountain of youth, which emerges divine in your own heart and speak in the authority of the gentle assertiveness of love, wisdom, and power. Extend the shield of Mikael into the earth to protect the children. We extend this shield as an inheritance. Because remember, it's up to us to unify. Take a deep breath. We're going to shift the energies. Transition back to our grounding for just a moment, because I want you to get used to going into the long wave of your soul, but then back to the short wave of your mind, so that you can find the resonance of your true identity, which is somewhere in between the long wave of the soul and the short wave of your mind. And it's right in the voice of creation, because remember, creation is vibration, consciousness, and light. We are made of light. The chakras are light. When you open your heart, you open up electronic gates inside of the electrical system, the biophysics of your body. If your energy system is prepped properly, you've done your spiritual homework, you can access enormous amounts of energy. We're talking atomic potentials. And the amount of energy you can access is based upon how well you're grounded to the universe. Because otherwise you'll just blow circuits, you'll blow voltage. Your ground is always what keeps you. Your roots is what keep you from short-circuiting. But we've been used to being dependent on the earth to be grounded. But she has some new needs. And she needs us to help her be grounded in a new way. Because she's in flux, just like our cells are. But it is the spirit of life which we present through our souls that tames that flux, that calms the waves of chaos with a medicine song of the soul. The elements will listen if you communicate to them in their language. That is the key. Communication with all entities, regardless of their level of consciousness, from an element to a rock, to a being, to an extraterrestrial, is context dependent. We pray with the earth and with our soul so we can learn the language necessary to communicate with the spirit. The language of light speaks through the divine function of our being and of our body. When you surrender to bliss and love, the electromagnetic fields of your heart align in symmetry, and all those tetrahedrons align their angles, and you go into divine symmetry. And that divine symmetry in your heart is a key, is a code. You see, the more you can carry that key, that code, that symmetry in your heart, is the least that the world around you can alter your heart. Because your heart is the eye of the storm. And the hurricane is all of the debris in the construction zone of our mind. Because the mind defines, compartmentalizing all of these ideas, but the soul refines, taking off all of the layers of conception. So we put the layers on to know our mind. We take the layers off to know our heart. We find mastery in our identities. And we transcend the costumes that we've been stuck in for lifetimes on earth. We do this with a reservoir of power which has been brewing in the ancestral flow of our hidden memory. But the memory of the Akasha, which lives in your soul, is folded up in the higher dimensions of your blood and of your bones. And you have to have the fire in your heart and in your body and in your mind to unlock the memory of your soul. The fire expands. Your kundalini expands your magnetic field. The fire of your mind expands your perception. But fire comes with responsibility. And your soul is a fire keeper that carries this responsibility. Because some days you're going to wake up and the winds of change are going to be blowing hard and strong and wet and fierce. And you're going to have to protect that fire in your heart. Even when those who you may love the most are frozen in icebergs, trapped in forgotten waters. But still, the sun must rise. And as it does, all of the illusions retreat from our soul. But the sun that is rising is the great central sun that lives in our soul, to reveal a new galactic day of peace and possibility. And when this sun rises deep within the nucleus of our soul, all of the shadow projections stored in the film strip of our memory cleanse and clear. We let it all go because we have trust. With respect and appreciation, we hold our sacred ground, trusting and knowing that what rightfully belongs to us will return and sustain and remain. We fear not surrendering anything because we know that that which we truly belong to and that which belongs to us, we can never be without. And the power of our light and the presence of our soul cannot be broken. It should not be a token. Because it is priceless. And we are here to reappraise ourselves so that we can praise ourselves for who we truly are. We're priceless in your heart, in our minds. So right now, let us make sure our ancestors can hear us. Aho, Wakantanka, Tukashila, Makaskagaya. Thank you so much for inviting us to be brothers and sisters upon this sacred land. We stand in both appreciation and forbearance. Help us, Mother Earth, make peace for our errors within your mind. Help us, Mother Earth, make peace with the ways that we have treated you, consciously and unconsciously. We know we are divine children. But now we are ready for a new ceremony in our lives. We are ready to beat the sacred drum of our destiny. And that sacred drum of destiny is both a peaceful drum and both the drums of warrior class angels which stand to defend humanity. Feel the spectrum within your heart, for you are the relation between Alpha and Omega. And you can feel the best of the best and the worst of the worst, but it does not alter your knowing, because your knowing is centered. And the center is everywhere that you choose to be, in the alignment of your breath, your consciousness, and the clarity, truth, Mother Earth, help us understand the truth so that we need not fear the changes that we know you may ask us to make. Mother Earth, thank you so much for all of your patience while we prepare ourselves for these changes. But we know and we feel the winds of change blow strong and direct, and a narrow cliff we have stood upon as we look across the canyon of our destiny is at hand. So we must lift our wings on high and cross that canyon back to the island of paradise within ourselves. The memory of the soul which remains unbroken, unaltered, and the perfection of a sacred womb held in the heart of hearts by all of the angels and angels of creation. And the angels have every angle covered in this umbrella of light. And where humanity has been crooked in the fallen angles of its past, it will be corrected. But this correction, each must make in the choices of their heart. So we come correct when we choose for love. We come correct when we choose life. And we allow choice to transcend the unconscious domain of uncertainty. Because as brothers and sisters and warriors of light, we look into the future without fear. Yes, we have uncertainty, and much of it. But we are strong, and we will not allow that uncertainty to justify our fear. And we will not wear our fear as a badge, for we outgrew it long ago. So no longer will we interfere with ourselves and each other. And then we will not enter fear, because we will stay in love. And when we do not interfere, and when we do not enter fear, we hold sacred ground. And that sacred ground, it needs your touch. It needs your prayer. It needs your memory. And it is about those who you love. And it is about all of the truth and all of the progress that we have made in our humanity. It outweighs all of the errors. It outweighs all the tribulation. It outweighs all of the misfortune. Because out of the compression of the stresses of life, of the astral planes of insanity, has emerged a diamond within your soul. The diamond will be appreciated in its rightful moment. It will have its time to shine. But first, the vortex must become stronger and stronger and stronger in the passion of your life to cleanse this diamond of all of the anamorphous coal which represents your ego that has cloaked your diamond heart. So let us allow the vortex of our love and our passion to reappreciate our heart, so that our heart can reflect all of the colors and all of the vibrations to fulfill the unity of spirit. We clear the palette with love and forgiveness. An artist must forgive the palette past in order to endure a new creation. Forgive the colors that mixed and were not able to return to their clarity. Forgive all of the things that you have taken on that no longer serve, because the colors of life you have borrowed, and like the shells upon the oceans of time, these colors will return to the sun from whence they came. And just as that shell sits bleached on the shore from the radiance of the raw vibration of light, so does our soul become purified And all of those colors become focused into the unified light of Ein Sof Or, the white light spectrum and purity of our infinite light, love, consciousness. So right now, remember a sacred covenant. And that covenant appoints you your divine attorney. And you have the wisdom of creation and the mastery of creation to transcend this karmic matrix for yourself and everyone you love. You cannot escape the game of life, but you can master it if you don't think twice when your intuition knows what's right. And your intuition is the intuition of the inheritance of that sustenance that you need to bring into form. Because you need current, you need energy, sustainability, movement, passion, clarity, wisdom, and you need power. And that power needs to command the elements of the earth in peaceful and harmonious ways. No different than the shaman commands peace from the winds to make a voyage. It's time to bless the elements so that the journey ahead is smooth. Because remember, everything we face in each moment from the future affects us based upon how we've related to it in the past. So we must restore a relationship, you see. And this relationship is deep. And everything you ever learned in this lifetime, through every emotion and every thought you ever had, is but a glimpse into that infinite wisdom. Though it's time to shine, or to allow the manifestation of the keys and codes of light which you carry within your soul to take formation within your heart, mind, and relations. So let us make an agreement with Grandmother Earth that will serve us and her. Make that agreement first in your own heart, in your own way, in your own language. Because she knows where you're supposed to be. Just like she knows where every plant will grow in its most optimal place of the garden. So, we're going to unleash this energy that we've been building. And in just a moment, we're going to have movement and passion fulfill the ecstatic function of our biology. Because without the ecstatic vibration of that passion, our DNA loses coherency. We lose the ability to remember our tribal unity. And we will prepare ourselves for a ceremony. The medicine is natural, and the medicine is life, and the medicine is pure. And your heart creates the medicine. And we put that medicine into the medicine of the earth. Then the medicine of the earth can heal our soul. So we're going to open a stargate for our cacao ceremony. So we're going to open up this energy gate so that our cacao ceremony is able to continually access its intention and its purpose. Now, without going into any descriptions or explanations of the Mayan lineage and star knowledge, just a few things. The Mayans were interdimensional masters of time and space, energy. They are a unique civilization which gives us access to something that no other civilization quite did in the same way. Similar but different to a lot of ancient cultures, but the Mayans had very detailed knowledge of electromagnetism in particular, magnetics in particular. When you think of South American tribes and Central American tribes, you normally think of all tribes being ceremonial based. The Mayans were not a ceremonial based tribe. Originally, they were scientifically based. The ceremonial aspect was actually got out of control and was, of course, part of the downfall of the civilization, which we're not going to get into, and which leads into a lot of esoteric stuff, which is a lot of fun, but not today. So, what I want to bring to you is the energy of the access that I've been given to the Mayan portals, because I've been in the grid, I've been in the portals, I've learned about Mayan codicy, and I learned it from the earth, and I learned a little bit of it from the elders, and I learned all of it through experience. And that experience is giving me the opportunity to change the neurological chemistry in my mind, which has allowed me to accomplish things which would have been impossible before. So we need experiences which transcend the fabric of the boundaries of the limitations of our mind, and then from there we have a larger terrain to cover and to learn. And when you're in the Yucatan at the end of 2012 and you close a ceremony for 500 people and a spaceship lifts up out of the jungle a mile away and floats for 5 minutes, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Okay. But we're not going to get into all that stuff because it's not safe until you're strong. Okay? It's not safe until you're strong. Astral projection is not safe until your etheric body is strong. Okay? This is very serious times in the energy levels of the planet, and you must be very mindful of the way you do things. Let's put it that way. Explore, but do it the right way. Okay, so opening the Mind Stargate is, I'm going to do a few mind codes in mind language and open the directions and say a prayer. We can't get like into traditional mind stuff because that requires making a big mess of flowers and tobacco and all kinds of stuff that we don't have, which is useful and makes the ceremony very beautiful and memorable, but we are the flower of life, and we don't need all that stuff right now. So, okay, I think there's anything I'd like to tell you before. Mayan Stargate has to do with the fact that the Mayans believe that you are a living portal, that the human being was a living portal that operated between dimensions, okay? And the Mayans lived a simple life, not because they were bored. They lived a simple life because they wanted to save as much time as they could for exploration and some ceremony and for study, okay? The Mayans were scholars. What we've been taught about the Maya on average is highly inaccurate. The Mayans had amazing universities and colleges that people from all over the world came to study. Pharaohs came from Egypt to study in Mayan observatories. Okay? The past is not what we've been told. It's much different. It's much more connected. It actually resonates a lot more when we put the pieces together, right? So, we're going to get into that energy, and the cacao is going to carry that vibration, and the dance is going to carry that vibration. I just want you to remember antiquity, because in this culture that we live and in the hustle and the bustle of everyday life, antiquity is something that we lose reference to. And we're talking about the purity of antiquity. We're talking about what every grandmother who loves every child has fought for forever. Okay? Talking about the truth. And that's why we're protectors. So the Mayans protected a lot of knowledge, but they knew that the planet was going into a very heavy cycle of darkness, and they knew that it would be nearly impossible for them to be here and maintain their culture, so they left and the culture deteriorated. But they left us information. Okay? I'm going to transfer the field to everyone while I'm doing opening directions, which are only going to take me a short moment. And I'll need a drum, and I'll need medicine flute for that. And I'd like to give respects to the late Humbotzman Mayan Daykeeper, who recently passed away, and who was a friend and an inspiration for me to sharing this and other stuff. All right, so we're going to just do a quick alignment of the elements to open the direction, and maybe later let's explain to you, we're running scalar frequencies. These grids are actually active with electrical current, so we're changing the field of the grid to help what we're doing. Okay, so you need a heartbeat and a drum. Moments while we complete our alignment, prepare for our celebration. Honoring the directions and the elements within ourselves. Lakim chak shib chak ah. Lakim chak shib chak ah. Lakim chak shib chak ah. No whole concept cha ah. No whole concept cha ah. No whole concept cha ah. Chinkin active cha ah. Chinkin active cha ah. Chinkin active cha ah. Zakbi ship. Shaman, Sakbi Shiv, Kanich Ahau, Sakbi Shiv, HL, Sakbi Shiv, Hunavku. Feel that fire in the center of the medicine wheel of your heart. Life is a ceremony, and we awaken into a new level of the dream. the earth, and she will keep them and hold them in the crystals of her being. Aho matake yasin. Oh. We'll take a moment to round back in. Good job, everyone. We held a great field. We've changed the quantum matrix. These are custom field generators that I've been guided to build and make. And it's an honor that everyone can hold such a high vibration. We've waited years for South Florida to be ready to hold a field like this. We're just going to keep building it out. Low wizards live backwards in time. We've been waiting a while.
2012, 5 years later.
Thank you, everyone.
Just put them over here.
Adjust. Oh, and as we close, the jewelry we have outside, we make in all of this energy and this process and this technology and this wisdom we put into it so that everyone can help hold the mystery school vibration.